pain. It is one of the primary things women think about and talk about when it comes to childbirth. It is at the forefront of most women's minds, and rightly so. You know, when you think about all of the depictions of birth in media, it's usually women screaming and cussing out their partners, and it looks super traumatic, right? But it definitely does not have to be this horrendous, painful experience. It is definitely one of the most intense experiences you'll ever go through, especially if you choose to have an unmedicated birth. But it can still, you can have that intensity while still being calm and feeling like you're able to manage the discomfort, even like you're able to float out of it a bit. So these are my top 10 techniques for minimizing or sometimes even completely dissolving pain during childbirth. So number one is to breathe. If that is the only thing you take away from this video, great. Make sure that you breathe. So in between your surges, aka contractions, just close your eyes and just do really slow, easy breaths to settle yourself back down. In between surges is not the time to be really active. You really want to conserve your energy for the next surge. So just really calm, deep, easy breaths. And then when you move into a surge, even a bit before the surge starts, start doing deep in the belly breaths, like really, really long, slow inhalations through your nose, envisioning a balloon fully inflating in your abdomen. And what this does is it gives your uterus plenty of space to open, expand, to surge, and it minimizes any resistance that the different muscles in your uterus might have to that surge. So breathing is totally key to minimizing pain during birth. And something that you might find happening to you, at least in the beginning, is that you feel like taking a deep breath will actually create more pain. It's like you get to this wall and you're like, oh, if I keep breathing, I'm just gonna burst with pain. But usually what happens, if you can bust past that wall, if you can just convince yourself, nope, if I keep taking this deep breath, I'll actually minimize pain, then that's exactly what you'll do. So if you hit that wall, just force yourself to keep breathing, to keep inhaling, and you're almost guaranteed to begin dissolving a lot of that tension and discomfort. So again, big, deep, slow inhalations in through your nose during a surge. And when you reach full capacity, do a long, slow exhalation through your nose, and then rinse and repeat. Just keep doing those deep breaths. Force yourself to resist the urge to hold your breath and have a surge like this, because it creates so much pain. So if in doubt, just keep breathing. Okay, number two, all right, deep pressure in your lower back. Especially if you're having back labor, this will really feel good, but even if you're not, there's something about the pressure point it's at the very bottom of your spine. And if you really want to get specific, go to the bottom of your spine and go out about 1 to 2 inches on either side, and you'll find some indentations. And if you press into that, obviously you're not going to do it. Have a nurse or your doula or your birth companion press into that spot. But something that also works is just having somebody press their palm into your lower back, like as hard as possible. Some women, as a doula, I've had women that are like, harder, harder, harder. And eventually I just have to get out a tennis ball and like push the tennis ball as hard as possible into their very lower back. And I can almost immediately see the tension and the discomfort just melting out of them. So really focus on putting pressure on the lower back. If you start to become overwhelmed with the sensations, you'll likely find a lot of relief. I know that when I finally had my husband do that, like 6 hours into my birth, I was like, oh my God, like this actually works. Why didn't I do this 6 hours ago? So again, another if in doubt, press your lower back. And something you can also do, I mean, hopefully you'll always have somebody with you, but if you're alone momentarily and you need that pressure, get that tennis ball. So make sure you have a tennis ball on your packing list, and sit in the hospital bed or a chair and just press your back into the tennis ball. And that will hopefully give you a lot of relief. Okay, changing positions. So when you've been sitting in one position for, well over 45 minutes, your body will naturally start to become stiff. Your muscles might start to tighten up, and that is going to exaggerate a lot of the discomfort. So every 30, 45 minutes or more, if you start to just feel stiff, do it earlier, switch your position. Lay on your side, go and sit on the toilet for a little bit, stand up, do whatever you need to do to move your muscles a little bit, do a little stretch. If you're really having intense surges, make sure that you have your birth companion, a nurse, doula, midwife support you with these position shifts. And something that's really amazing with doulas, midwives, nurses is they're usually pretty in tune with a great new position to get you into. So if you don't know what position to get into, just ask and they can help you out. Okay, hip swirls. So something that happens during birth is that a lot of tension and tightness, a lot of energy stagnates in our hips. And this is something else that can intensify that discomfort. So if you have a birth ball, go ahead and sit on your birth ball and just start swirling your hips. And what this does is it starts to break apart that tension, that stagnant energy, to allow it to all move through you. This also can help to make your surges more effective, which we all want. If you don't feel like sitting on a birth ball, you can stand up and hold on to the back of a chair. Just put your hands on the hospital bed, your bed at home, whatever. Do hip swirls that way, whatever feels best for you, but just really get those hips moving. You can put on some fun music to encourage the movement, whatever works for you. Okay, number 5. So it's really important to envision yourself surrendering to the sensations of childbirth, to just keep thinking or saying out loud, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. Look, that's in no way easy. Everything in our being is usually like, oh my God, I don't like this. I want it to stop. I don't want to surrender. Yeah, that's totally normal. But when you can force yourself to say, okay, I have to move through these sensations, these contractions to be able to have my baby. So the best thing I can do to serve myself in this moment is to surrender, to just breathe, to relax my body, and to allow these surges to roll through me. And it might not happen, the first few surges you try this on, but if you stay committed to the idea and the action of surrendering, it will start to bring much needed relief. All right, number 6, using the bathroom regularly. So it can be really hard to tune in to your bladder and your bowels during birth because there's so much going on. So it can be hard to tell if you need to have a bowel movement or if you need to pee. And this can really exaggerate the pain. I mean, it's painful enough, right? When we're stuck on a road trip and we have to pee and there's not a bathroom, that's not a fun sensation. So imagine that coupled with childbirth. Not great. So every 30, 45 minutes, even if you don't feel like you need to, go ahead and sit on the toilet, sit there for a couple minutes, see what happens. Another great thing about sitting on the toilet is we associate it with opening and releasing, right? So not only will it help you open and release your bowels, your bladder, but it can also help to expedite labor and get baby moving down and out a little bit quicker. And if you have trouble peeing, go ahead and put a few drops of peppermint essential oil in the toilet bowl, and that will help to stimulate some urination. Number 7, get in warm water. Warm water works so well at relaxing your muscles, helping that tension, that discomfort to just melt out of them. If you don't have a tub that you can get into, no worries. Go ahead and sit in a warm shower. If your legs are feeling a little bit shaky, make sure that you have something secure to sit on in the shower and just allow that warm water to wash over your back. And if that lower back pressure that I talked about earlier is really helping you, get your partner in the shower with you so they can keep putting that pressure on your lower back. Number 8, so each time you take a sip of water, coconut water, juice, whatever it is you're drinking during birth, hopefully it's a lot of water, envision it being like liquid morphine that you're drinking. So envision each sip of water just floods you with endorphins, with pain relief, and hopefully that can also just flush out, catecholamines, your stressor hormones that will also, intensify pain. So we're just washing all of that out every time you take a sip of water. Number 9, okay, so pressing on pressure point LI4. So can you see that? So it's just at the base of your index finger and your thumb. And the great thing with this pressure point is you can do it on yourself. So when you feel that surge coming on, you just start to press on that pressure point, close your eyes, and just really set the intention that it is going to help to release any pain from your body. And it's nice because you can adjust the pressure by yourself. You don't have to tell anybody how hard, just do it to your liking. It's a really empowering pain relieving technique because again, you can do it yourself. Okay, and number 10, aromatherapy. So essential oils like lavender, other calming essential oils, they're like magic for so many women. For me, lavender was my go-to. I had it everywhere. I had it going in an essential oil diffuser, but I also had it I would have my mom or my husband just put a few drops on a tissue, and as I was going into a surge, I would take a big whiff of the lavender and it would immediately signal my mind and my body to just relax and open and surrender to that surge. So collect a few of your favorite calming essential oils and make sure they're with you at birth. Make sure you tell your birth companions, which ones are your favorites, ask them to put some on a tissue, start that essential oil diffuser. I think that's everything. There's so many things that can help minimize that pain, but those are really my top 10. Those are the ones that I've found to be most effective, not just in my own birth experience, but in the many births I've attended as a doula. If you have any other ones that I forgot that you found to be really helpful, please help us out by leaving a comment below.